I'd like to call this meeting to order, the board meeting at 7:24. Is it at 7:24? Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, and a few moments of silence for Monica, can I have roll call?
Dr. Hyde,
Here.
Mr. Moreno,
Here.
Mrs. Quintana,
Here.
Mr. Rolla,
Here.
Mr. Thomas.
Here.
I'd like to have the approval of the minutes for September 11th, 2018. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the meeting minutes of September 11th, 2018.
Can I have a second?
Second, to approve the minutes for September 11, 2018.
Roll call?
Dr. Hyde,
Aye.
Mr. Moreno,
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana,
Aye.
Mr. Rolla,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
And I'd like to amend the agenda for 2.3. We had some names that we had to add. So can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda, which includes the changes dated September 25th, 2018, Superintendent's recommendation, approval of the District Accountability Advisory Committee charge and representatives for 2018-2019 school year.
Can I have a motion?
Second. I second that motion. Second.
Roll call?
Dr. Hyde,
Aye.
Mr. Moreno,
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana,
Aye.
Mr. Rolla,
Aye.
Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
And we're going to move on to the comments.
No, approve the
what?
agenda. You have to approve the
We did.
agenda.
We did.
Thought the amendment, okay.
So, and Senator Moreno's going to read our policy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just as a reminder for both the board and the audience about what's expected and the conduct during our open communication with the community and with citizens, I think all of us acknowledge that this could be handled better, and we're hopeful that that we will be handling it better going forward. We encourage criticism, we encourage dialogue, we encourage opportunities for improvement that are expressed by members of the community. We do ask that people refrain from personal attacks. Fine if you use names, but please keep comments as constructive as possible. This is a matter of board policy, but it's also a matter of state law. And we want to make sure that we create a safe and welcoming environment for all those to express their thoughts with the board. So appreciate everyone adhering to those basic rules of conduct, and we'll proceed from there.
Okay. Carolina Villagrana?
We have not approved the agenda yet. Point of information.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think my motion was to approve the agenda with the amendment presented to the DAC committee.
Okay. I'd like to make a comment then. It's been first and seconded, has it? The
Yes.
agenda? I think I would like to have the board address the issue that has been raised by the American Civil Liberties Union.
Okay, so, go ahead, Senator.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think what Dr. Hyde is referencing is we did receive a letter from the American Civil Liberties Union, Colorado, indicating that last meeting, public comment was not handled properly, that it should be handled properly going forward. I think we all recognize that, and which is why I provided just a little bit of a refresher for how we should all, the standard of conduct that we should all observe in public meetings. These are opportunities for the community to address the board, their elected representatives, and a certain standard of conduct, I think, is expected both for the board and for the folks speaking with the board. So I'm sure the district will be responding to that letter, but we may want to make sure that everyone knew the expectations during public comment going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Senator, in that letter, which is addressed to the president of the board, they ask for a response no later than October 1st. And so would the chair like to give us the assurance that that will be done?
I will turn it over to the attorney. It's on.
We'll endeavor to respond as soon as I can.
Thank you. So Carolina Villagrana. Now you can give your name, you don't have to give your address, just where you live. I mean the city.
Oh, Carolina Villagrana, Denver, Colorado.
Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, board members of the board and Superintendent Abrego. My name is Carolina Villagrana, and I'm here to speak in support of KIPP Colorado Schools' application to open a new charter school in Adams 14 School District. I believe every parent should have the ability to choose what school is best for their children. As educators, it is our responsibility to commit to and fulfill the promise that every child will learn. This commitment should happen every day, in every classroom, and in every school. As a young student, I was in a school that was not meeting my needs. My parents made the difficult decision to enroll me in a school that was further away from our home, but it offered the programs and environment that ultimately led to my success. I saw my parents' sacrifices that altered their careers, life plans, and personal goals and dreams for over 12 years. I am internally grateful for the proactive role that my parents took in ensuring that I had the best education possible. But families should not have to sacrifice to get their kids in a great school. We know that families in Commerce City are facing a similar dilemma, and not every family has the ability to sacrifice personal resources so that they are able to send their child to a school that's best for their needs. Commerce City is in a pivotal moment where communities using their voice and sharing their hopes and dreams of what education can look like for their children. Families are expressing the value of inclusion that mirrors their child's identity, and I believe a KIPP school would recognize and promote those values. KIPP is listening and collaborating with parents and community members so that community voice are at the core of the school design process. That means including biliteracy programming that celebrates and promotes the goal of students being fluent in English and the language spoken at home, which for most of our students is Spanish. Part of listening to community also leads into strengthening the partnership and redefining family engagement, where families both send their child to KIPP Commerce City Academy and are active participants both in and outside their child's assessment. As principal and resident at KIPP Colorado Schools, I am working in schools with our students now, and I will be ready to step into leadership for the new school in Adams 14 should it be approved. My goal as an educator is always and has always been to partner with families so they can define what quality instruction looks like, understands what their child is learning, and how they can support their child at home. Additionally, it is critical for parents to know how to advocate for their child when needed, because the time that students spend in any one class is just a small portion of their learning career. And parents can and should play a key role in ensuring high quality instruction and a lifetime of learning. This is challenging work, and it cannot be done in isolation. I believe there is a value in collaboration and learning from each other so that all students in Commerce City are reaching the academic benchmark. My hope is that we are able to learn from each other because the goal should never be only one school to do it well. It has to be all students to learn and achieve. I appreciate the board's thoughtful consideration of the charter application for KIPP Commerce City and ask that the vote to be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Jose Guardiola.
Good evening, Jose Guardiola, alumni, former employee of Adams 14, private citizen. Today I'm here to talk about constructive criticism. So the last couple meetings, you guys have not done well receiving that constructive criticism, right? So I want to point out a couple things that could help you guys be more attentive to our needs. One, hold your superintendent accountable. This man has lied to us and lied to our community. It's in the paper, it's everywhere. 2 years and I'll be gone. It hasn't happened and he's not gone. So what is the solution? Get rid of your superintendent. Bring in somebody that cares about our community and that cares about our kids. Bring in someone that's gonna listen to you guys are his bosses, right? Gonna listen to you guys, gonna take you guys serious, because right now he doesn't. Another thing, Adams City High School. The kids do not want to go to school there, and it's kind of sad. I get parents call us all the time. Kids still don't have schedules. The food, the lunch, is still not fixed. Someone told a mom that called over there they should eat breakfast at home. Breakfast in the morning is something Senator Moreno passed, and it's not being upheld in his own district. So what has to change? Hold that person accountable. Kids should be wanting to go to school, and you guys continue to listen to this man destroy our community. When is it going to stop? One last thing, the recall. It's coming. We're halfway there. And when it comes, the citizens and the residents of Commerce City will decide 3 new people up there that care, that want to be up there, that want to take it serious, quote and unquote, because this is a serious job. And this recall is not about my job. It's not about people that left. It's not personal. It's not even about charter. It's about kids. Something that you guys took an oath to say you guys will do better for this district and these kids. And to this day, you guys have not taken it serious. This recall is needed. When I walked the parade up and down, every single person I talked to, 108 people signed our petitions that day, said thank you for taking this serious and that those 3 individuals should step down. Think about that. What is your legacy when you guys leave that position? That's what I want to know, because you guys are destroying this district, and hopefully when we get 3 new people up there, they'll take it a lot serious. Thank you.
Jorge Garcia.
Good afternoon. My name is Jorge Garcia. I'm the Executive Director of the Colorado Association for Bilingual Education. This is not about standard of conduct. All of this is about a better education. It's about the civil rights of students here in Adams 14. Respond to the ACLU as soon as I can. That's not good enough, and it shouldn't be good enough for you. It's not about me or my feelings, and it's not about you or your feelings. It's about the students. Each of you took an oath of office in which you solemnly swore to, quote, support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, and the laws made pursuant thereto. The First Amendment is part of the Constitution of the United States that you swore to uphold. What happened on 9/11 of this year in this boardroom was not a single isolated incident. nor was it solely an attack upon me by one of you. No, it was an attack on the entire community and an attack against the rights of the public to voice their concerns through constructive criticism. Ironically, the point I was attempting to make before you had me removed by a police officer was that Javier Abrego, your sole employee, was taking actions that should concern you because those actions were intended to silence dissent. I was attempting to give you ways to improve the tarnished image of the district without the need to spend thousands of dollars on public relations consultants. Accountability, honest communication and transparency, and competent administration. That's constructive criticism. Nor was this the first or only time that you have denied the public its First Amendment rights. On December 12, 2017, Mr. Rolla attacked me and questioned my right to even speak to this board. On March 13th, Mr. Thomas interrupted me for using names. On June 12th, Abrego interrupted me for using his name in factual and valid criticism. On June 26th, Connie Quintana interrupted Lisa Lovato for using names. On each of these dates, you violated your solemn oath to support the Constitution of the United States. Your attack on 9/11 was an attack on that Constitution. And your attorneys, officers of the court, Jonathan Farrow and Darcy Moore, sat idly by while you committed this attack. That should concern you. The ACLU has sent you a letter, giving you the law and the cases that support my claims. Now each of you should know that you cannot remain silent. All it takes for evil to triumph is for good people to remain silent. After your 9/11 attack on me, a reporter asked me what I intended to do. I told her that what I really want is for you to do the right thing. End your unconstitutional practices. Admit your faults. Apologize to the entire community. Abide by your oath that you took to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Thank you for listening.
Guillermo Serna.
Guillermo Serna, 14122, East 102nd Place, Commerce City, Colorado. Longtime resident of Commerce City, participant in this district. First thing, we keep saying senator. Our senator, okay? Or senator, or senator. When he's behind that chair there, he is representing this district. Respect that. He's taken time, freely of his time. It's not the senator part that's working. It's the community side, the caring side. And he has to make those decisions accordingly, not that he's a senator. The reason I'm here is that we are looking at charter schools. Charter schools have a tendency of going to a district when it's down, saying this and saying that, bringing 1, 2, 3, 90 people, 60 people, and then say we participated with the community. That's less than 1%. And they're asking you to make a decision that is going to affect this district. And we are going to a struggle right now. What happens to the kids that are in special ed that need assistance? Are they going to be able to participate? Are they going to be held accountable to keeping those kids all the way through? Probably not. What happens to those kids that may not be gifted or talented in any perspective, or that have more caring parents than others, or that they are having more money than others. These are the things that public schools has to challenge with accountability. You are there to protect public education. Let the State Department make that decision. Because if you make that decision, you're giving the entrance to what's going to happen with the high school and some of the schools that are not up to par. And your responsibility is to bring these schools up to par. You can't do it if you keep going back and forth with children, back and forth with kids, and not meeting their needs. Yes, they speak well, but what about the parents that don't and can't? What about the kids that don't have that opportunity to have accountability? Think about it. I hadn't heard about it. All of a sudden, they're here. You have that right. You are the curriculum and the district. You make those decisions. Don't let somebody come in here while we are trying to straighten out our problems, irregardless of whether it's a recall, irregardless of whether it's this school or that school. There's other avenues and other organizations that have the same responsibility, from the governor all the way down to you. They have to respond to you. They have to meet your needs, not you meet their needs. Parents right now should be going to the State Department and demanding that this district is not put as an example for all the other districts that are in trouble. We're not the only one that's in trouble. We're not the only ones that have problems with our civil rights. It's a state issue. And this has to be brought out. You take the brunt of it and you do volunteer. Everybody else, they spend millions of dollars bringing in state boards. And then they do this, they blame each other. It's hard for me to see where we're at. And it's important to know that we can do better and we can strive to meet the needs of our children. Because we are growing too fast. That's growth problems. These are things that we have to understand. Our children can meet the challenges if given the right buildings, if given the right technology, if given everything that they need to become successful in their time, so that they can provide for me, the senior citizen, and everything else that comes with it. Don't let these charter schools take over, because it's not accountable to public education. It's only a few. And they have not proven yet to me, when they first started, that they can do better than School District 14 or any other school district, because of the deficiencies that come into a room, 80 to 90 deficiencies. They don't deal with that. If kids don't meet or parents don't participate, step aside. These are things that you have to take into consideration when you make this decision. And I ask you to vote no, because this community now needs you to stick together and bring them together so that you can do a better job and everything else that comes with it.
Thank you,
3
Mr.
minutes
Senate.
is not enough, but
Thank
you need any more, let me know. Thank you.
Adriana Gonzalez Bruno.
Hello, my name is Adriana. I live in Denver, Colorado. I just want to speak to the vote to put forth the KIPP charter school that they're trying to put in Commerce City. I want to speak a little bit about my experience at Adams City Middle School. I went there in 6th grade. I was bullied my whole entire year, so I moved to KIPP Middle School. There I was given the opportunity to enroll in honor classes. I was given the opportunity to meet students that had struggled like me, that they gave me an opportunity to be myself that I wasn't given at the Adams City Middle School. I did move back to VPA, that is a current charter school in Commerce City. There I was downgraded to a lower grade level because of my academics. There I was in what you call a B class, which was an average class. I didn't have any AP classes or honors, so I moved back to KIPP, the high school. There I was given the opportunity to enroll in AP classes. Currently I am enrolled in about 8 AP classes that I thought I could never pull through, and I am capable of doing it now thanks to KIPP High School. Yes, the school is strict and it gives a ton of homework, but college is, let's face it, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of studying, a lot of tests. And I feel when I was at Adams and when I was at VPA, they wouldn't give me the homework and they wouldn't push you to enough to where you would have that idea that you would go to college. And here in KIPP, I have a class specified for the college purpose. They help me see what colleges fit me best. Right now, I am trying to apply to 9 colleges, 3 likely, 3 target, and 3 reach. This kind of helps me see what I can actually go to, schools that I may not get into, but I still will attempt to get into. KIPP will follow me 6 years after I graduate. This is a promise that I didn't hear from any other schools that I have attended. And the change to this school, honestly, has been one of the greatest decisions that my parents have taken for me. Yes, at first I was not on board because in my 7th year, it was very tough to switch from a school that gave you homework once a week to homework every day. But I did see this as a great opportunity for my college education and for my success as a teenager. So I would like to put forth this motion to give other students like me the opportunity to believe that they can make it to college. Thank you.
Patricia Bruno.
Buenas noches.
Good evening.
No voy a hacerle muy larga la conversación.
I'm not going to make the conversation really long.
Soy mamá de 4 jovencitos,
I'm the mom of 4 children,
de los cuales pasaron todos por Commerce City, que me corresponde, por Adams 14, para las 14.
which all of them have attended Commerce City School.
No pasé buena situación en ninguna escuela.
And I did not experience any great.
Mi hija Adriana sufrió bullying.
My daughter here experienced
Mi
bullying.
hija la mayor sufrió bullying.
My oldest experienced
Y
bullying.
opté por cambiarlos a KIPP.
And I decided to change them.
¿Por
all
qué?
to KIPP
Porque se me hizo y se me hace muy buena escuela.
because it seemed and it looks like it is a good school.
Regularmente viajo de Thornton a KIPP, que está en, no recuerdo, en Aurora, y no me importa gastar tiempo, dinero.
Just making sure. ¿Puede decir esa parte otra vez? ¿Usted viaja cada día de
Sí.
Thornton?
Sí, yo viajo.
Gracias.
Yo viajo diariamente de Thornton a lo que es Aurora.
I travel every single day from Thornton to Aurora, basically at the far northeast
Y
campus.
no me importa ni gastar ni tiempo, ni dinero, ni esfuerzo, con tal de que mis hijos salgan muy bien educados. he visto que trabajan duro, les dan computadora. Yo no podré ofrecerles a mis 4 hijos computadora. Es lo que he visto que equipo ofrece los maestros. Ay, perdón.
Sorry. No, está bien. To me, it doesn't matter the amount of energy I put in, the amount of money, of gas, and time that I take to commute every single day. There, I see that they're receiving a great education, they're receiving resources such as computers. I have 4 kids, and I can't provide that to my children.
Mi hija la mayor está estudiando el 3er semestre de química en la Universidad de Arkansas, en Querétaro, México.
My oldest daughter is studying right now her 3rd year in chemistry in college in Querétaro.
Se tuvo que ir porque aquí en la escuela de BPA de la 56 y Quebec no le dieron ninguna oportunidad.
She had to go to another country because here at VPA, they didn't give her an opportunity to go to 10 school here.
Así es. Y buscó becas en México,
She looked for
Arkansas.
scholarships
Ya se puso en México y
for Mexico.
estoy contenta, pero a la vez triste porque no pudo seguir aquí mi hija en una universidad de aquí de Estados Unidos. No le abrieron las puertas, ni los maestros de aquí, no hubo quien los guiara. Y yo siento que de toda la generación, solo 5 fueron a la universidad.
So, my daughter had to look for scholarships in order to go to school in Mexico. It makes me sad though that she didn't have the opportunity or anyone encouraging her to attend school here.
Sí.
Ahora de los 5.
Solamente 5 estudiantes, de 30 estamos hablando. 5 estudiantes siguen en la universidad.
5 of her children continue in college.
Así es que ya no quiero hacerla más larga,
I don't want to
solamente
make it any longer.
les quiero preguntar,
I
¿por
just
qué
wanna
no?
ask, why
¿Por qué
not?
no abrirles más
Why
oportunidades
not create
a
more
este tipo de
opportunities
escuelas
for the
para que
school?
nosotros los padres estemos más
So
seguros
as
de
parents
que
are
nuestros
more
hijos van a ser triunfadores?
confidence that they could
Que van a ser triunfadores nuestros hijos.
achieve.
Thank you.
Dios los bendiga. Gracias.
Deborah Figueroa.
Good evening, board members, superintendent. Good evening, community. My name is Deborah Figueroa. I'm a teacher here in the community, in the district. I just want to say thank you to the board members that came to our movie night, backpack full of cash last week, Friday. I think you were able to see the community, and we wanted to just share some information, documentary, facts, and hopefully you took something in, learned something, and can share with other people. And on behalf of us, I want to say thank you for being there and communicating with our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we're done with the comments, so now we'll go on to the routine items.
Point of information, I'd like to make some comments, please.
Can you wait till after?
Well, this is the public comment period, and we often have comments afterwards, and
I would
the
like you to wait
superintendent
till
has,
after we're done
we
with the
often
business.
have the superintendent address the comments.
It's up to the
And-
board chair to appoint any member of the board to respond to public comment under board policy.
Should I fill out a comment form then and speak as a member of the public?
I'm sorry, I missed one person. Joanna Signs, come on up. My mistake.
Right. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent. My name is Joanna, a longtime Latino community organizer. And just taking everything in and being here since last year with the parents. Really, I just want to give all you guys a hug. It's hard being up there, I know, and listening to the community, so thank you. Being a community organizer myself and being in your position, I know it's hard, and I can understand your feelings. As far as the movie, the documentary you guys watched with the teachers union, I just would like to put out there, please take time to watch Waiting for Superman. It's a very good documentary. It's a little different from what they view, but it's what my parents view that I speak to on a daily. I have been speaking to the parents about the possibility of opening a new high-quality high school in Adams 14, or school, I'm sorry. And every parent that I've spoke to is very excited and supportive about opening a KIP. These are parents I spoke to today. And I just wanted to show you. I spoke to all these parents today. And unfortunately, all of them were afraid to come to this space today. My brave ones are here that came, and I'm really excited that they did. And the reason why that they're scared is because the teachers now are making them feel guilty and fearful for wanting something better for their children. Parents deserve more good schools in Adams 14, and if you oppose to that, maybe it's because you are getting a paycheck from the system as it exists today, a system that is failing the majority of students in Adams 14. So we are clear that there are people in this community who I guarantee you would not tolerate this quality of education for their kids. They are intimidating parents who try to participate in the DAC and spreading lies and misconceptions about the school that would improve our district. I don't live in this district, but I have so many friends now that are here, and they're part of me. I'm Latina. This is why I came here, to help them. They're my gente. And I've spoken to each of you, except to Sandra. I still need to get on board with you. I've spoken to all of you guys. You guys know who I am, and I'm just here on their behalf. Biliteracy is so important, and KIP offers that for them. Lastly, my parents they've had enough with the intimidation, and they want to speak. They want more good schools for their children, and they deserve the right to say, I shouldn't have to be up here doing that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And we have one other one, Dr. Bill Hyde. As he comes down, he is talking not as a board member, and he really doesn't, well, he does live here, so.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and board members and Superintendent. I wasn't expecting to do it quite this way, but I will stick to my 3-minute limit. I wanted to address a couple of issues regarding the charter school application that's before us.
3 minutes, remember.
Excuse me?
3 minutes.
Okay, do I get the time that for interrupting me? I think it's really hard to find a charter school that has done as good a job as KIP has in terms of their history and so forth and their current performance. But I think there's a bigger issue that we have to address. And it starts with a misunderstanding as to what a public institution is. And I know this is a minority position, but what's right and what's wrong is not something that's up for a vote. But a public entity has to meet 3 conditions. It has to be publicly funded, it has to be publicly operated, and it has to be universal in its service. A charter school meets only that first criteria. So no matter how good KIP is or any other charter school is in terms of doing what it is that they're trying to do, it is not a public entity. And that is an incredibly important distinction. What it amounts to is that they're trying to, the legislature or the state or the United States, whatever, is trying to eliminate the distinction by simply reclassifying. It's as though we're going to legislate that blue cars are going to be identified as red cars. We can legislate that, but that doesn't make blue the same thing as red. And some people will say, well, who cares what color you call the car? Well, that's just an analogy. But when it comes to education, it is important. There are certain things in our society that are so important that they should be managed as public entities and not as privately operated entities. And one of the things that is particularly important is that they do not universally serve all students. And I'm going to be out of time, and so perhaps I will bring this to you at the next board meeting when I'll have another 3 minutes. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. So right now, we'll continue on with consent items. 1.1, personnel, 1.0. Superintendent's recommendation, personnel actions. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 1.0.
Can I have a second?
I second the motion 1.1.
Any discussion?
I have a question. Superintendent Abrego, does the district conduct exit surveys of people who are leaving the district?
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Is that information ever compiled, or I noticed a couple of names of people who were going to be leaving the district, and I'd be very curious to know why they were leaving, because, you know, retention is a huge issue for us, and if we knew why people were leaving, then that might give us some guidance as to what we can change to improve retention.
I believe that information is all kept in the HR department, and they use that for that purpose.
And previously, we did exiting the board. We have set up exiting interviews, I guess you want to call them. We talked to them why they were leaving. We did this, 2 years ago, Vice President?
Actually, we did it this past summer, I believe.
We did it this summer, but we did it.
And Dr. Hyde walked out.
Yes, that's correct. So, can I have roll call, Monica?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Moving on to 1.1, Superintendent's Recommendation, Policy IKF Revised. Can I have a motion? Graduation requirements, sorry.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 1.1.
May I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second policy IKF graduation requirements.
Discussion? Roll call, Monica.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mrs. Moreno? Mr. Moreno, sorry.
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Business 1.2, Superintendent's Recommendation, Policy IKF-R, it's a new one. Discussion, first reading, graduation requirements. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 1.2.
Can I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second.
Discussion? Seeing none. May I have roll call?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.1, Superintendent's Recommendation, Approval to reallocate substitute funds into a permanent campus monitor. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.1.
Can I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second
Any-
item 2.1.
Discussion?
Madam Chairman, what is embedded in this reallocation of substitute funds. I had read that there was something about we're not able to find subs, and so that the substitute funds are essentially being unused. And so that was used as a justification for switching them over to the permanent campus monitor, which kind of begs the question, how are we going to address the shortage of substitute teachers? Is this, are we just giving up on trying
This
to
does not
fund?
have to do with substitute teachers. This is for campus monitors.
Yeah, and the money is coming from the substitute fund.
For the campus monitors. Each school will have, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Brego. Oh, Sean?
So we're unable to fill any of the substitutes for campus monitors. So there are none. So when we interviewed for the campus monitor for Lester Arnold, we had 2 quality candidates that were forward. The Lester Arnold campus monitor has been unassigned for the first 2 months of school. So with those 2 candidates, we saw that we would really had a need for an extra campus monitor, and because some of those positions have not been filled, and we don't utilize or have the ability to fill for subs, we have the extra money, and plus we also have.
I've got you, thank you.
Thank you. So can I have a motion? Did we already do it? Okay, roll call. Monica?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.2, Superintendent's recommendation, approval of school dude web-based cloud software renewal. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.2.
Second?
Madam Chair, I second item 2.2.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Monica?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Okay, Superintendent's, 2.3, Superintendent's recommendation, approval of the District Accountability Advisory Committee charge and representatives for 2018 and 2019 school year. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.3 as amended by the superintendent's recommendation, September 25th, 2018.
Second.
Aye. Madam Chair, I second 2.3.
Any discussion?
Madam Chairman, is this the item that you asked to amend?
To amend.
And how did you amend it?
At the beginning of when we started. When
What was the text of the amendment?
we needed to amend the agenda of 2.3.
And so, as it now, what was added, or how was it changed?
What was, go
Madam
ahead,
President.
Mr. Sanchez.
Okay.
Mr. President, Madam President, Dr. Hyde, Mr. Superintendent, board members. So we added 2 additional names to the list to ensure that we are doing our best to try to fill as many of those slots
DAC.
that the board would approve as part of the next DAC for this school year.
Thank you.
Okay,
Madam Chair.
go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Sanchez, I appreciate that we have almost a full showing of parents from all of our different schools. There is still a vacant position for a district or school administrator. Do we have a timeline on when that will be filled?
Thank you, Senator Moreno, Madam President, members of the board. So we are working diligently with school leadership to fill all the slots for parents, and we are working also with the central office administrators to make sure that we can identify a school district or a school-based administrator who would like to serve and be able to commit the time that's needed to be able to serve a full year term on DAC. We have made, a lot of efforts to this date. This is a large group to be able to fill, and as soon as we get some of those names, we'll bring it back to the school board.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I ask you to abstain from voting on this, please.
I'm ahead of you. So can I have roll call, Monica?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Abstain.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.4, Superintendent's recommendation, approval to increase funds for approved district vendor Kids First Healthcare. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.4.
Second? No second? Discussion? Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.5, Superintendent's recommendation, approval to initiate a contract with Smith Agency DBA Serenity to provide educational and therapeutic interventions for students during the 2018-2019 school year. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.5.
Can I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second 2.5.
Any discussion? May I have roll call, Monica?
Dr. Hyde?
No.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.6, Superintendent's recommendation, approval to modify the contract of CSD Educational Services to continue to provide technical assistance and expertise during the entire extended charter application process. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.6.
Can I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second item 2.6.
Any discussion? Roll call, Monica, please.
Dr. Hyde?
No.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
2.7, Superintendent's recommendation, approval for in-state overnight travel to Colorado Springs, Colorado for the 78th Annual Colorado Association of School Boards Convention on December 6th through the 9th, 2018. Can I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of item 2.7.
Can I have a second?
Madam Chair, I second item 2.7.
Any discussion? No discussion? Monica, can I have roll call?
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Okay, board action 3.1. Board recommendation, Aurora Urban Renewal Authority with Adams 14 Board of Education representative. Can I have a motion?
There needs to be discussion among the board to select a representative to sit on the Aurora Urban Renewal
Okay.
Authority Board.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Monica, I was a little confused at why we are designating one for Aurora. Do our boundaries cross with the Aurora? Oh, wait, they do?
A very small portion.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that our appointed members should be the same as the Commerce City Urban Renewal Authority, which would be Mr. Thomas, if he's willing.
Yes, I'll do it.
Okay?
Monica, does a formal motion, is that
We
needed?
have to vote on,
Okay.
approve it.
I move to appoint Mr. Thomas as the district representative to the Aurora Urban Renewal Authority.
Can I have a second?
I second it.
Roll call, Monica, please.
Dr. Hyde?
Aye.
Mr. Moreno?
Aye.
Mrs. Quintana?
Aye.
Mr. Rolla?
Aye.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
We are now in communications. So, anybody?
Just like to thank all the parents that showed up to the charter schools presentation. We had quite a few in the morning and then a little bit less in the evening, but it was good to see them, so they're getting a good idea of what a charter school is all about. And I think that way we can get more or less a fair idea from what the parents of our community want. So it's good that we're getting the people involved in it. And also with the presentation on Friday, we had a good representation of parents there too. And so at least we're getting the parents out there to take a look on what's going on.
Senator? Nothing? I will say the same thing, that it was very informational to attend the meeting and to see the staff and the parents that were there. I thought it was very good to do that and to come together as a board team. So, and I think Dr. Braga was with us. So, you have anything in Harvest?
I just want to say, September the 12th, 13th, and 14th, we had a nice retreat with administration, and we learned a lot. And I just want to thank Tipton team for helping us come together as a board to learn a lot, and with administration to understand how we can move forward with the district, and also had a great homecoming week with the parade and everything. Thank you.
One like this. Dr. Hyde? Nothing? Okay. We have a need to discuss, to have another retreat, the board. So we need to discuss dates, times. We're looking at 2:30 till 7:30 for any of the following dates, on the following dates. Wednesday, October 3rd, Monday, October 8th, and Wednesday, October 10th. It's good for me. Go for it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would suggest the 8th. That works.
Were we just going to do one day or 3 days?
Monica, was it three?
3 days?
Or
It'll be one day.
one day, the 8th.
The 8th? Ms. Rolla? The 8th?
It's fine.
8th? Okay.
At what time?
2:30 to 7:30.
And where will that be at?
To be
The
determined.
8th is a Monday.
No, yeah, but where will the
Uh,
retreat take place?
She probably has to find a place for us.
Okay.
Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have to find it. So, anything else? Anybody else? No? And the calendars and the dates are on the back of the agenda, so if you want to look at what we have there. Is there a need for another executive session? No? So that is it. So we are adjourned at 8:23.